You don't go to an accident scene every day and see a truck hanging over a bridge.
No way!
En español, available on Local Now. Tu conexión con el tiempo.
Continue to see thunderstorm activity and flash flooding across south central portions of Arkansas, still southeastern Texas as well, northern Louisiana. Now this threat growing, by the way, pushing into Tennessee and portions of Mississippi and also Alabama as well. Welcome back in the Storm Center. I'm meteorologist Tevin Wooten alongside meteorologists Jackie Jarris and Samantha Moore. We'll get to them momentarily. Let's get you the latest, though, on what we are still seeing a lot of heavy rainfall. I mean, we are in a moisture-laden atmosphere more than enough such that we will continue to see flash flooding. We still have a tornado watch until 6 p.m. for portions of central and eastern Texas, also portions of Louisiana and Arkansas under the gun for some severe thunderstorms. Damaging winds, hail, you name it, all modes of severe weather still on the table today, albeit things should start to shift or change. So yesterday, with the dynamics of the atmosphere, we were looking at that possibility or more likelihood, if you will, of seeing tornadoes. Today, perhaps straight line wind event with some of these squalls coming through. And still, though, damaging winds 50 to 60 miles an hour. In fact, if you look at this entire yellow zone from Memphis down to Greenville, Mississippi, through Jackson, Mississippi, and up towards portions of Nashville, Tennessee. That's where we still have our severe thunderstorm watch until post-sunset tonight for a lot of folks. That does stretch into south central portions of Kentucky. I do want to back into this zone of flash flooding. I think this will be a major concern to a lot of folks, not just in Arkansas, where we do have flash flood ongoing right now, but portions of Mississippi and Alabama and Tennessee, and even Georgia eventually getting into the threat for very heavy rainfall as we get into portions of midday tomorrow and beyond that. Jackie, I know that still a lot of zones, though, in Oklahoma, for example, not just experiencing the rain and thunderstorms, but also tornadoes, too. Still some zones, by the way, near Bixby, Oklahoma, Jackie, actually still looking at the potential for flash flooding. Shelters are now opening courtesy of the Red Cross there.
Yeah, it's been tough, and some of these rivers are going to continue to be on the rise even after the rain has stopped. It's just been relentless in parts of eastern Oklahoma. This is a look at some of the deep water covering the roadways here in Muskogee. This is about 50 miles to the south of Tulsa. 35 water rescues took place in Okmulgee County last night in a 6-hour period of time. And early this morning, everyone is okay. That's the good news. But they've had as much as 3 to 7 inches of rainfall across the area. These training thunderstorms and just heavy downpours that have been just pelting that area. Unfortunately, it's been very saturated, and that heavy rain threat is going to continue to push eastward with our storm system as well. As we look virtually at conditions there, you can see more rain is going to be on the way in a place like Pittsburgh, and the rain is going to be heavy at times. As we take a look at how much we've had in the last 3 days, there you can see the heavy rain into northeastern parts of Oklahoma on up into parts of Arkansas and into southern parts of Missouri as well, with lesser amounts off towards the east, but it's those dark orange spots that we're looking at. That's where we've had as much as 6 or so inches of rainfall. You put that down in 6 hours or less, and you know that water's got to go somewhere, so it takes a while. And some of the rivers, creeks, and streams aren't even going to be cresting until we get into the weekend, perhaps. So this could be a prolonged period of flooding. If you live in those flood-prone areas, you really need to be on alert the next couple of days. Here's a look at where the flood watches are in effect, still into eastern Oklahoma, as well as a good portion of the state of Arkansas, into southwestern parts of Missouri. We did have some flash flood emergencies that were issued last night in southwest Missouri and early this morning into eastern parts of Oklahoma. So this is going to be the big zone to watch from about the Corn Belt states all the way down into parts of Texas for that flood risk. And then as we head into tomorrow, we're going to watch that moisture then concentrate into parts of the east. Even the mid-Atlantic could have some issues. Samantha?
Oh, gosh, more rain. And of course, over the weekend, we're going to be watching for things to develop here across the plains as that dip in the jet stream, that trough of low pressure, pushes to the east and warm air builds to the north. That's going to set the stage for some possible severe storms over the weekend here in places like Omaha, Nebraska, stretching up to Des Moines, stretching on up into the Minneapolis-St. Paul area as we head into Monday. So this is going to be developing as we head through the weekend itself, and this all shifts to the east on our Saturday, that warm air building to the north.